The Rock Whisperer. Do you hear the earth talking to you?
Hi, I'm Paul Levin from Galway Central School District, and I'm here with Carolyn Schroeder, PhD from Texas A&M University. Dr. Schroeder, I have a few quick questions to ask you. Number one, when did you decide you wanted to study geoscience?
Well, it's kind of odd, but not until I started teaching it, because I was a biology major and they said, we don't need a biology teacher, we need an earth science teacher. And I said, I can do that.
That's great. I'm glad that you made the change. Can you explain a little bit about your educational path? And I know you have something a little bit different than most of the other people. So.
Okay. I went to college and majored in biology because I loved science always, and I wasn't familiar with earth science at the time, or earth sciences, and so I majored in biology, graduated, got my teaching certificate to teach all high school science and middle school too, and started teaching, and we moved down to a town close to Houston, and when we did, they said, we don't need a biology teacher, we need an earth science teacher. And I said, I can do that. And despite the fact that I hadn't had any of the courses that were included in it, but I started teaching it and I fell in love. I started going to some summer professional development courses and started working on my master's degree and got it in science education, but with emphasis on geoscience.
Awesome. And then you went on and did your PhD, correct?
I did, but didn't start it until I'd already taught for 30 years.
So it's not too late for me then to go back.
It's not too late for you, no.
Awesome. So what was the area of your research, and what is your kind of current focus and things that you study right now?
Okay, my research area was in science education, or my focus was science education, really, geoscience education. And my focus looked at how do experts and novices address problems in different ways, or the same way, as it turned out in different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's how your link with GCamp is?
No. After I started teaching at A&M, I started doing professional development for teachers as well.
Okay. And
I met Dr. Giordino, and we both thought that it would be a great idea to do some kind of professional development, including a field trip for teachers. And we started doing that. Currently, I am semi-retired, but I'm still working on this, and I still work with AP courses.
Awesome.
At A&M.
Yeah. So with doing teaching and stuff, so what has one of the coolest things that you've done that's related to science?
Well, I think working with teachers and teaching them how they can use geoscience concepts, even if they don't teach a geoscience or earth science directly, but how they can incorporate those concepts and ideas into physics or chemistry or biology. Mm-hmm. How is it all related? And to me, that's the coolest thing about teaching and about working with teachers.
Great. So what is one of the most memorable places that you've traveled? I mean, there's, in the 14, 15 days we've been on the road now, obviously there's tons of things, but I'm sure there's other experiences you might want to pull in that have been related to your job.
I've done lots of summer field trips because even before GCamp, I worked with another professor at A&M, and we did summer programs, including going to a trip to Utah and southern Colorado, Arizona, Grand Canyon, and back across New Mexico at Socorro, seeing the very large array of radio telescopes is really cool. The coolest, I don't know. There are just so many wonderful places that are national parks in some cases state parks, some things that are not even parks at all, but just beautiful, cool places. So it's really hard to say anything is
That's
the
okay.
best.
You've experienced a lot. And then our last question is, what is one question that you wish people would ask you about your job, and why do you wish they would ask you about it that you don't normally get?
Perhaps I wish they would ask me why I like to work with teachers. Because I think that that's one of the most important things that we can do. I think I taught students for long enough to have made an impact. But my goal when I came back to school to do my PhD was to help teachers and to influence science education. And I think I've done that at least somewhat during the years that I've worked there. I've published some papers and worked with a lot of teachers. And so I feel like the influence has spread, and I've loved doing it.
Don't forget to listen to the Earth. You just may hear it speak.